All right, happy Monday, all. Just going to go through some clips from the Macalester game. And the focus here is, being able to recognize when we need to switch the point of play. And then obviously, um, how do we go about doing that? So obviously recognizing the moment, but then the how needs to be in place. And I think as we play better teams and the pressure mounts, our ability to see this and be brave in the moment is reducing. So I want to start here with obviously just a fantastic goal to play with. I mean, this isn't necessarily a switch of play, but it is a little bit. So we need to just watch this. And as we watch, I want you to see all the pieces that are here. Like I said, fantastic goal. She buries it. So as we watch it again, which side are we starting on? That's the important part. So we're on the left side. Remember where penetration comes from. So now we're prepared to play. Kaylee deals with this. Good touch and dribbles. Now watch Emily Holtzman drift away. She's the open player, and now we've penetrated on the right. So we've started on the left, and we've now made our way down on the other side. So as you watch this, this is the important thing. We're still progressing on the switch as the ball reaches Anna. Now look at that space to our right. And Emily Holtzman does a good job of moving into that space. Anna lays a ball off that allows Emily to play first time. And of course, we all know that she's not offside, and Denise does well to finish. So we need to see that as the bar. That's a good example of kind of what we're able to do. Look here again. I think this is another good decision for us to switch. Look at the pressure here. Maya deals with it. Look at their entire back four is on that side of the field. So for us, that's a switch, right? We start to circulate out. Tally gets into the width. And now we're progressing. Now, if you look, we would have Anna going on if we're brave to go, and Maya should be bombing on as well. So it's a 2v2 on the backside against their two remaining defenders. So watch it again. Maya does well to win this battle. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4 of their back four all on that side. Their entire team is in the right side of the field. So yes, we need to switch. Maya finds a player who's able to get us turned out. Now, as we would ask Tally to do, is typically we would ask her to try to get her width more before running forward. So as she keeps running forward, that angle to player gets tougher and tougher. Emily Hillis finds the right pass. Ty's able to breathe. Tally gets wide. And now we start that domino effect. Ball comes out to Tally. Now their left back steps. Kaylee makes a good early run and pulls their center back out. And then obviously we're looking at the moments that we should be able to get a touch on that ball and win that duel. So a good example of what a switch of the play can do for us. So next thing is another good example of when we had this. Again, we want to look at when we do it right. I think we didn't do it nearly enough. But we start out down the right side. And this is what we'll talk about later. Is like, look at where Tally is. Are we really ready to play from here? And sometimes we play a little too fast. So Tally's still trying to get her shape. Again, support underneath isn't great. Katie's got to back off and create a new angle instead of staying flat. Kaylee says, this isn't a great side, so we're going to try to find another way, which is fine. We slow down a little bit. We find the side. And this is what we're going to ask, and this is the tough thing, and this is where, against good pressing teams, the details matter. We would want Lee to be probably another 10 yards deeper. Keep coming, keep coming. There she goes. So now she is there. So as we start to look at this, if we look at where the distance between their number 10, who's standing by Emily Hillis, and the player that just pressed our goalkeeper, how much yards of space is there? 10, 20. It looks like 25 yards of space. What would we want to see from Lana in this moment? Can she drop down into that space and face forward? What that would do is if Lana drops in and picks up that space, number 8, who's sitting there and waiting, and she might be number 6, who's sitting there and waiting for Lee's vertical pass, will have to decide between Lana or cutting out that pass. In this case, because Lana stays there, she can do both jobs. Lee tries to play the ball in, not quite at the pace, the movement isn't on time, and then we have an interception. Okay? If all those details happen a little bit quicker, Lana's on the ball facing forward and we're carrying the game. But now we have to defend this. Okay? Next one. Did we miss it here? Again, as we start to really focus on our switch of play, we tend to get really hyper-focused, especially down one side. Again, Tally's not quite wide enough. There's really no reason to start dribbling again. We can just wait, let people get their shape. Now, look at what their center midfield did. She was on Lana. As soon as we start to carry, she pretty much bails. So what we'd want to see is Lana drop about 10 yards back and face forward. Can we find her there? And then we can start to play out the other side. We become too predictable and too clear here. So even Kaylee gets the ball here. How many do they have numbers-wise? If Tally is able to get up the field and Tally's a little bit behind, if Tally's able to get up the field here, the likelihood that we're able to find success is limited. All right? And then this, another positive, a double switch, and this is kind of, it brought us to the attacking half. And I think this is a good example of the patience. So we win the ball, Emily Hillis does well to deal with their pressure, and we start to get our shape now. And this makes soccer a little bit easier when we're organized. Go up, Ty finds a good penetrative pass that skips into Anna. All right, so based on that touch, this is probably not a good space to play. So Anna makes a choice, we play out the other side, and now Lee has space to go. And now we'll look at the movements. If we look at, a lot of us are just looking to point in behind. No one's really unchecking or getting off of their mark just to receive defeat. So Lee is just looking straight at, all right, how do I have to find this? And still then we've got space we could have hit. But this is what we're trying to bring. We want Lee traveling into that attacking half in those conditions with space in front of her. And this is, again, what a switch would do for us. We move it here. Tally opens up. Like I say, Ty finds a good pass that breaks lines. Oh, my video's slowing down. But then if we just stop it here. So now Lee has about 15 yards to carry forward into that space. And 10 has to work across. So, big picture stuff like just 2 switches got Lee carrying, and now we've gained space. We started all the way in the back, and now we're going to be up to the half line with control and not just hoping to pump and run. And this is the last visual. And this is, I think, sometimes when we start to, as we get tired or we let the details slip, if I'm Ty and I have the ball here and I see where Tally is and I see where the rest of my team is, I would say we're not prepared to play forward. And that's kind of where we're looking. We want to start to think about how do we read the space? Maybe Ty slows down. Maybe she just stops and plays it back to Lauren so we can try again. And we just reset. The width is the important thing. If Tally gets wide, and Sydney's wide on the other side in a good shape. If Tally gets wide, that pulls 17 out of the way a little bit more, which makes a ball into Kaylee even easier. All right, so kind of as we go through this, guys, and as we'll talk about it tonight, is like we have to recommit to this. We have to recommit to the details. We have to recommit to being brave, but being patient. We've lost that leg. We go to panic mode, and we just play down the same side we started. Our ability to switch the point and use Lauren and use Lana or use Lee in the middle to get out of trouble is the difference between success against these high-pressing, high-energy teams and the struggles that we had in the first half. All right? So, again, spend time with this, and we'll talk about it more later today.